We are reacting to baseplate. Now, let's go see this.
This astronaut was abandoned in space because his country ceased to exist. In 1991, Sergei Krikalev launched to a space station as a hero of the Soviet Union. But while he was
What?
250 miles above Earth, his country collapsed and broke into 15 new nations. Suddenly, the space program was broke. There was zero money to bring him home, and nobody could agree on who should rescue him. So they just left him stranded. What was supposed to be a 5-month trip turned into almost a full year trapped in orbit. He had no clue when he'd return, surviving only because other countries sent up emergency food. He literally watched his homeland disappear from a spaceship window. When they finally brought him back in 1992, he stepped out wearing the uniform of a country that wasn't real anymore. He left Earth as a Soviet and returned to a world where his home was wiped from history. This astronaut was abandoned. Scientists threw themselves off a 150-foot drop to answer one terrifying question. Does time actually slow down before you die? Car crashes, combat, a natural disaster, moments where death feels certain. Almost everyone who survives them reports the same thing. Time itself seemed to slow down. To test this, researchers free fell from a 150-foot platform onto a net. But here's the wild part. They wore a special watch flashing numbers way too fast to normally read. If time truly slowed down in a panic, they'd suddenly be able to see the numbers perfectly. After the jump, everyone swore their fall felt 36% longer. But here's the massive twist. Nobody could read the world was actually more colorful when you were a kid, and science can prove it. When you're young, your eye lenses are crystal clear, picking up every bright color around you. But around age 10, they start to yellow, like a permanent filter slowly glued over your vision. You can't feel it happening, it's just gone. But it's not only
Actually happening.
your eyes. The world itself is losing color. Scientists tracked thousands of everyday objects over 200 years and found that back in the 1800s, only 15% of things around us were black, white, or gray. Today, over 60%. Concrete, steel, minimalist design. It all quietly drained the color out of real life. Just look at a parking lot now compared to 50 years ago. So those vivid memories from childhood
So that's why when I was watching a 1990s movie like Vivarium, it was so colorful. Even the car was so colorful.
completely real. Your eyes were sharper and the world was genuinely brighter. And now both are fading at the same time. The world was Imagine waking up completely paralyzed, only to realize a dark figure is staring at you from the corner of
No, that is the sleep paralysis. No, I think it's the sleep paralysis.
your room. It's called sleep paralysis. Your brain wakes up, but your body stays locked in sleep mode, meaning you literally can't move a single muscle. Panic sets in. Your chest gets heavy.
You know what I'm gonna do? I would punch. I know. I would. I would gonna force. I would gonna force myself to walk in a freaking dream.
Your mind starts projecting nightmares straight into reality. But here is the truly terrifying part. People all over the world who have never even met report seeing the exact same entity. They call him the Hat Man. He's a pitch-black silhouette wearing a trench coat and a wide-brimmed hat, just standing there watching you while you are utterly defenseless. Scientists claim it's just a primal fear response, our brains desperately trying to make sense of the dark by inventing a human shape. But if it's just a random hallucination, how is everyone's brain generating the exact same guy? Imagine waking up completely
That's so true, bro.
paralyzed, only to realize a dark figure is staring at you.
Bro, my phone's so glitchy ever since I updated it.
Bro, that's the #1 sign your phone.
What if you could never fall asleep again? It sounds like a horror movie, but it's a terrifying reality called fatal familial insomnia, also known as the sleep curse. Imagine hitting your mid-50s and one day you just can't sleep. You try heavy sleeping pills, but nothing works. The sleep switch in your brain is permanently broken. You are forced to stay awake for months on end. Your brain literally cannot shut off. Slowly, the extreme exhaustion
Your neurons are broken.
takes over. You start intensely hallucinating and completely lose your mind until your body just gives up.
You would be becoming into a monkey and die.
And shuts down. But here is the absolute scariest part about this disease. If you have the gene, there is zero cure. And worse, there are no early warning.
If I had that, oh no, I would be cooked if I had that.
Signs. You won't even know you carry it until the exact moment it activates. It's basically a ticking time bomb inside of you, waiting to wake you up for the very last time. What if you could never fall asleep again? Imagine someone builds a time machine using Einstein's theory of relativity. It's history's greatest invention, so they travel back to 1905 to thank the genius himself. They find a 26-year-old Einstein in Zurich and explain how his groundbreaking work made time travel possible. But Einstein has absolutely no idea what they're talking about. So the traveler sits him down and explains how the universe is a fabric of space and time, and that the faster you move through space, the slower you move through time. Once the traveler leaves, Einstein frantically writes it all down and publishes the theory as his own. His work revolutionizes our understanding of the universe. Then, centuries later, some kid learns about it, builds a time machine, and goes back to tell Einstein. If the traveler learned the theory from...
What? Wait, what? That mean it's a infinite paradox. Like no.
Einstein, and Einstein got it from the traveler who actually came up with the idea in the first place. Imagine your phone is currently rewiring your brain, and there is a terrifying side effect. Have you ever felt your phone buzz in your pocket, but when you check, there are 0 notifications? You aren't crazy. It's called phantom vibration syndrome. Because we are so addicted to our screens, our brains have become overly cautious, constantly waiting for the next alert. We've actually trained our bodies to anticipate that buzz. So now, your brain actively misinterprets completely normal things, like a tiny muscle twitch or your jeans rubbing against your leg, as a notification. You are basically hallucinating physical touch. But here is how you fix it. You have to break the habit loop. Start keeping your phone in a different pocket. Turn off vibration completely, or leave it out of reach for a few hours. If you don't reset your brain now, you'll be feeling ghost texts forever. Your phone is currently rewired. If you are ever in a familiar place and it is completely silent, your brain thinks you are about to die. Ever walked into an empty indoor pool or a deserted playground and felt an instant wave of panic? It feels straight up creepy, like you shouldn't be there. But you aren't just being paranoid. This is a deep survival instinct. Thousands of years ago, humans relied on background noise to know they were safe. Birds chirping or leaves moving meant everything was fine. But if the forest suddenly went dead silent, it meant a dangerous predator was hiding nearby. Today, your DNA still has that exact same alarm system. When you stand in a place that should be full of
Wait, does that mean our DNA is a code? Like when our ancestors were scared of dark, does that mean I'm still scared of dark? What?
loud, screaming kids, but instead it's completely silent, your brain hits the panic button. It just assumes the absolute worst. Whatever scared everyone else away is still out there with you right now.
No.
If you are ever in a familiar place and you might be living an entire fake life right now. There's a famous story of a guy who got knocked out, and what happened next is terrifying. He didn't just have a normal dream. His brain created a full 10-year life. He met a woman, got married, had kids, and felt every single day pass normally. But one day he noticed a lamp in his living room. It looked completely wrong. It was flat and fuzzy, almost like a glitch. He got obsessed. He sat on a chair staring at this lamp for 3 straight days. His wife was crying, begging him to snap out of it, but he couldn't look away. Suddenly the lamp grew larger until his entire world completely shattered. He woke up on the floor. Only a few minutes had actually passed. He had to spend years mourning a wife and kids that never even existed. If your brain can fake a perfect 10-year life in just 5 minutes, how do you know the room you're sitting in right now is real? You might be living an entire fake life right now. There's a famous story of a guy who got knocked out, and what happened next is terrifying. He didn't just have a normal... If you play a video game for too long, your brain will literally start to rewrite reality. It's a psychological glitch called the Tetris effect. When you grind a game like Roblox for hours, you log off, close your eyes, and still see the game in the dark. You look at a real-life staircase, and your brain instantly calculates it like an obby, measuring if you can make the jump. The science behind this is crazy. To make you better at playing, your brain physically wires brand new neural connections. But it gets so used to the digital world, it forgets to turn game mode off when you put the screen down. But here is the ultimate plot twist. Scientists are now using this exact glitch to heal people. They found that playing highly visual games right after a bad experience blocks your brain from saving traumatic memories because it's too busy processing the game. You aren't just playing, you're literally hacking your own mind. If you play a video, there is a terrifying brain glitch that turns your own family into complete strangers. It's called Capgras syndrome, and it's heartbreaking. Imagine waking up and your mom walks in. You recognize her exact face and voice, but the emotional wire in your brain has completely snapped. Normally, seeing family give you a warm, safe feeling, but with this glitch, you feel absolutely nothing. Since your brain hates confusion, it makes up a dark excuse to explain the missing emotion. It tells you, that's not your mom, that is an imposter. Bro, imagine how lonely that is. You're trapped with people who look exactly like your family, but you're dead convinced they are clones who stole their faces.
Oh.
You didn't lose your memory, you just lost the ability to feel love. And the absolute saddest part? The harder your real family tries to comfort you, the more you think it's a trap. There is a terrifying brain glitch that turns your own family into
Wait. It's all tragic until you add the get out sound. Yeah, that's true. Someone better make this again. You know you're about to learn something deep when baseplate posts. Ah,
complete
done.
strangers. It's called Capgras syndrome, and if you are ever in a burning building, your brain might literally force you to sit down and do nothing. It's a terrifying glitch called the normalcy bias. When a sudden disaster hits, 70% of people's brains completely freeze. Because you've never been in a massive fire before, your brain refuses to believe it's actually happening. Bro, you would literally sit in a cafe sipping coffee while the room fills with thick smoke, just waiting for someone else to panic first. Your mind blocks.
I was checking out Sakai minigames, and my feed is full of them create game with one prompt.
There is a terrifying sleep glitch that proves you might not actually be awake right now. It's called a false awakening. Imagine you wake up, get out of bed, brush your teeth, and start your day. Everything feels completely normal.
Imagine it's just a realistic dream. Wait, actually, you're still sleeping. You pee your pants and poop your pants. Like, yeah, no way.
But then, boom, you suddenly wake up back in your bed. You never left. Your brain just created a fake copy of your morning to trick you into staying asleep. For some, this turns into an absolute nightmare. They get stuck in loops, waking up 5 to 10 times in a row, only to realize...
To me, when I was in I was dreaming about a zombie apocalypse and wake up and slap myself and wake up and realize I'm in a dream again, slap myself 10 times.
They are
Like,
still dreaming. They are trapped inside their own heads, screaming to wake up, completely unable to tell if reality is real anymore. So how do you know you are actually awake right now? Look at a clock or try to read a book. The brain is terrible at creating letters and numbers while asleep. If the words blur together or look like weird alien symbols, you need to wake up. There is a terrifying sleep glitch that proves you might not act. Scientists have discovered the exact sound frequency that creates ghosts, and it proves the paranormal is actually just pure physics. There's a sound wave called infrasound, hovering right around 19 hertz. It's way too low for human ears to hear, but your body physically feels it. Everyday things like old fans, broken pipes, or heavy wind can naturally generate it. But here is where it gets crazy. When this frequency hits you, it vibrates your eyeballs at the exact rate that causes you to hallucinate. It forces you to see blurry gray blobs in your peripheral vision, the classic shadow figures people swear they see out of the corner of their eye. On top of that, the wave naturally triggers random, intense feelings of dread and panic. So the next time you feel a dark presence in an old building, you aren't in a haunted house. Your eyeballs are literally just vibrating. Scientists, astronauts suffer from a condition that completely ruins their lives. It's called the overview effect, and it literally breaks their brains. When they go to space and look down at Earth, they don't see a massive world. They see a tiny, fragile blue ball floating in an endless, terrifying void of nothingness. In that exact second, reality fundamentally snaps. All the things we care about down here, borders, politics, money, or even just being embarrassed, suddenly seem incredibly stupid. You realize we are just fighting over invisible lines on a literal speck of dust.
bro, we just we just gone on war with a leader chair, bro, and a bucket.
But here's the tragic part. When these astronauts finally come back, they can't unsee it. They are forced back into a society obsessed with pointless drama. Many return feeling completely isolated because they can no longer relate to normal human problems. They went to space.
Does that mean feel they are aliens? Like not.
As heroes, but came back feeling like aliens on their own planet. Astronauts suffer from a condition that if you are ever in danger, being in a massive crowd might actually get you killed. It sounds backward, but it's a terrifying reality called the bystander effect. If you get hurt in front of one person, they will almost always help you. But if you collapse in front of 50 people, nobody lifts a finger. Why? Because everyone's brain instantly assumes someone else will do it. The entire crowd thinks the exact same thing, so everyone just stands there, frozen. But there is a life-saving trick to break this weird trance. If you ever need help, never just yell into the air. Instead, single someone out, lock eyes, and point directly at them. Say, "You in the red shirt, call 911." By giving one specific person a direct command, you completely shatter the group illusion. You force them to take individual responsibility, snapping them into action. It's a simple trick, but knowing it could literally save your life. If you are the real reason we haven't found aliens yet is actually terrifying. It's called the dark forest theory, and it completely changes how you look at the night sky. Imagine the entire universe is a pitch black forest. Every single alien civilization out there is a silent hunter, creeping through the trees with a loaded weapon. In this forest, survival is the only rule. If a hunter hears a twig snap, they don't walk over to say hello. They eliminate the source instantly to protect themselves. Now think about Earth. Bro, for decades we've been screaming into the void, blasting radio waves and broadcasting our exact coordinates.
Does that mean we are we are does that mean we're just spamming things so aliens can destroy us, and we just sent Voyager 1 into space with our weakness, bro? No way!
To anyone listening, we are basically the idiot in the woods shouting with a flashlight. This theory means the universe isn't empty. It's actually packed with life, but everyone else is dead silent, hiding from something way worse.
No.
The real reason does it feel like 2020 was just yesterday? There is a terrifying reason why time seems to move faster the older you get. It's called the holiday.
So bye bye guys. If you love watching my channel, like and subscribe and comment. Bye bye.